Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Suryavi. I am currently studying in Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering of branch Electronics and Communication. Today's subject is about Introduction to Electrical Engineering. In this module, we are going to discuss about DC machines. Topics related about DC machines. DC generator, principle of operations, construction of DC generator, winding, types of winding, EMF equation of DC generator, principle of DC motors, working of DC motor. DC generator. A DC generator is an electrical machine that converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. When the conductor slashes a magnetic flux, an EMF will be generated based on the electromagnetic induction principle of Faraday's law. Let us understand about DC generator. A DC generator consists of north pole and the south pole and the magnetic flux and the wire called the conductor, split ring called commutator and the carbon brushes and the V load. When a wire coil rotates a rotation, the EMF is induced and stores in a V load. Principle of operation of DC generator. DC generator operates on the principle of dynamically induced electromagnetic force. It is based on the principle that whatever flux is cut by a conductor, an EMF is induced in it according to the Faraday's law, which will cause a current to flow it. A conductor circuit is closed. The direction of induced EMF and hence the current is given by the Fleming's right hand rule. Fleming's right hand rule shows that thumb finger indicates that thrust of motion and index finger indicates about magnetic field and middle finger indicates about current. Let us understand about construction of DC generator. The DC machine having follows a main parts like field system or pole assembly, armature core, armature winding, commutator, brushes. Let us understand about each of the parameter. Field system consists of yoke, pole shoe and field winding. Yoke. It is the outer frame of the DC machine and it is made up of cast iron and steel. It provides the mechanical support to the poles and the protects DC machine from the harmful atmospheric elements like dust, moisture, etc. This is the part of the yoke. It is the outermost layer of the DC generator. Poles and the pole shoes. Poles are joined to the yoke with the help of bolts. They are carry a field winding and the pole shoe are fastened to them. Field winding. Field coils are four more wound and placed on each of the pole are connected in series. They are wound in such a way that when energized the form alternate north and south pole. This is the north pole and this is the south pole. The magnetic field always move from north to south pole. This is the field winding. Armature core. It consists of slotted soft iron lamination that are stacked to form an cylindrical core. The purpose of laminating the core to reduce the eddy current loss. Armature winding. The slots of the armature core holds insulated connectors that are connected suitably. This is known as armature winding. The armature winding of DC machine is in closed circuit winding. The conductors being connected in a symmetrical manner forming a closed loops or series of closed loops. This is the armature and this is called armature conductors present in the armature. In DC generator, there are two types of armature winding. One is lap winding, one is wave winding. Lap winding. The end of each armature coil is connected to an adjacent segment on the commutator. The number of poles in the lap winding is equal to the number of parallel paths. Wave winding. The finishing end of one armature coil is connected to an starting end of each armature coil and has only two parallel paths. In wave winding, the number of parallel paths always is equal to 0. In lap winding, there is a single terminal connection. In wave winding, there is an two terminal connection. Commutator. Here, the commutator that converts alternating voltage generated in the armature winding into the direct voltage across the brushes. The commutator is made up of carbon segments insulated from the each other of mica sheets and mounted in the shaft of the machine. The commutator that is mounted in the shaft of the machine. Brushes. The purpose of the brushes is to ensure to the electrical connections between the rotating commutator and the stationary external load circuit. The brushes are made up of carbon and rest on the commutator. Now let us understand about EMF equation of DC generator. Let P is equals to number of poles of generator, N be the speed of armature in terms of RPM, flux produced in each pole in Weber, Z be the total number of conductors, A be the number of parallel path. Let us consider an equation of Faraday's law. E is directly proportional to d phi by dt, where d phi is equals to change of magnetic flux with respect to time. Let us take a substitution. D phi is equals to phi into P. Dt is equals to 60 divided by N. Substitute in this equation. E is equals to phi into pi divided by 60 divided by N. After substitution, E is equals to P pi N divided by 60. This is the EMF induced in one conductor. If EMF induced in Z number of conductors multiply Z by A, the equation becomes E is equals to phi into P and Z divided by 60A. Now let us understand about DC motors. Now let us understand about principle of DC motors. A machine that converts DC power into mechanical power is known as DC motor. Its operation is based on the principle that when a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, the conductor experiences a mechanical force. The direction of this force is given by Fleming's left-hand rule, and the magnitude is given F is equals to BIL in Newton. In Fleming's left-hand rule, where thumb finger indicates force experienced by the wire, and the index finger indicates magnetic field, and the middle finger indicates the current in the wire. Working of DC motor. When the terminals of the motor are connected to an external source of DC supply, the field magnets are excited to developing in alternate of south pole and north pole. The armature conductors carry currents. Since each armature conductor is carrying current and placed in the magnetic field, a mechanical force acts on and it applies Fleming's left-hand rule. Force on the each conductor is tending to rotate armature in the anti-clockwise direction. All of these forces add together to produce a driving torque which sets the armature rotating. Now let us understand about DC motor. A DC motor consisting of north pole and south pole and brush split rings called commutators, DC power supply. Thank you for watching.